All right, so hello and welcome back. There are a couple things. This kind of looks fucking crooked. There are a couple things that I wanted to talk about in this video. Things that I wanted to reiterate, but I just didn't have the words. So this is the first thing. When in a fight, remember what I need. Don't forget and be able to think in chaos. So what that means, Shemis, what that means is that, for example, today I forgot everything that I needed. I forgot literally everything that I needed. Now, why did that happen? I was not able to think in chaos. And I was telling myself before, think in chaos. Now, why do I tell myself to think in chaos? Because whenever a chaos happens, or like a fight, I tend to forget. Like I become forgetful. Now, why is that? Is because I like the ability of being able to think in chaos. Oh my god, my nose is itching. Be able to think in chaos. It is so important to be able to think in chaos. That way I don't forget my shit. That way I make the right decisions in chaos. And that also means that I am able to carry out whatever I was starting to do, or like in big meetings when that shit happens, usually in big meetings, or whenever something is on the line or something is at stakes is happening. That is when I need to think in chaos. It's so important. That quality is so important. So whenever I'm in a fight, zoom into the stuff that I'm forgetting. Zoom into the stuff that I wanted. Just think. Think. Literally, just tell myself, think, and think. Be less careful of getting the, let's say, the other person back rather than getting what I have to get done. Don't ever make it my priority to get people back, because getting people back should never be my priority. This is people get them back and then leave, but other than that, like, don't get caught up on like what they said and shit, because they're not important. People are not important. They usually are just obstacles, or they're just a message from God. Nothing that they do is important. So just focus on what I want. Be able to think in chaos. I don't care if the other person is saying shit. Just think in chaos and be able to get them back. And I'm not saying be able to get them back as much as possible, but don't make it my priority. Make my priority to not forget what I actually came for, what I actually brought with me. So that happened to me multiple times. That happened to me, today's the third time. So that happened to me in Nahar's house. I forgot a couple of my stuff in Nahar's house. I also there's a white guy that was being racist, and I forgot what I was gonna get. Like, I got two different looking stuff. I know what I'm talking about. I don't have time to reiterate the story and re-say it. But and another time was today. I forgot my driver's license, and I also forgot my lunch at my mom's car because she made a fight. So that shit has to stop. I'm talking, this shit has to stop. I should not be the person like forgetting and stuff like that. Be able to think in chaos, be able to remember what I brought, be able to use my brain when there's like pressure going on. Just remember. Just do that. Just do it. It's so important. Just think, basically. Just be like, think, and get everything. All right? That's what I have to do. And that's just a skill, all right? So thing number 2 is don't side fully by someone, anyone, even my sister. So for example, I'm gonna leave this whole family. I'm just gonna stay with you, Laylek. No. She has to prove to me why I need to stay with her, all right? Part of the reason why I say that is so I can make my mom feel bad, but honestly, don't do that, because that actually is what makes my sister lose respect for me. That makes people lose respect, is that when you give somebody your 100% agreement, or your 100% satisfaction, people are gonna start taking that shit for granted. I don't care if it's my sister, it's just everybody. People are programmed to be ungrateful. People are programmed to be to take shit for granted and start going left and right. So I give them the permission to walk all over me. I'm the one who's doing that. Nobody's giving them the permission but me. I'm giving them that permission. So the first thing that I have to do is do not side by anyone completely. Don't side by the other person completely, ever. All right? So that's another thing. Even if it was my sister, I need to put my hands down. All right? Thing number 3, simple. Don't say hi back to people I don't like. Don't say hi back. Let them say hi. Just look away. I don't owe people shit. I don't owe them anything. They've done nothing for me. All right? those people have done nothing for me. There's no reason for me to actually even respect them. So if I know somebody's shitty and I don't want to say hi to them back, just don't do it. Just don't do it. I'm not forced to. I don't need to. So what the fuck? Why am I even doing it? So think on that level. That way I don't need to be nice to everybody, even the ones that I know that are shitty. I'm not saying like get mad at people. I'm just saying treat them neutral to shitty, and then maybe just be normal a little, be like a little normal. Just be neutral, be normal. Just don't be nice to them. I'm not saying be nice to them. There's no reason to be nice to them, all right? And there's also no reason to spend energy and be rude to them. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not saying being rude is spending energy, but just don't don't be nice to them, because I don't owe anybody shit. That's why, all right? Don't get out. What is it? Don't get overly mad at myself for anything. Just strategize for the future. This is so important because I tend to sit down and be so mad at myself, and then I'm not able to I just spend so much time being mad. Just here's the thing, instead of spending so much time being mad, just be like, oh, next time I'm just gonna do that, and strategize for the future. Don't come at it from a place of madness, because this is what life is making mistakes and improving, and just an ever lasting improvement, make an ever ending improving journey. It's not even about the destination, it's about learning and learning and learning until I get to the point where I actually learn at a higher level, learn about other things. Like right now, I never thought I'm actually gonna sit down and tell myself don't say hi back to the people I don't like, because that was never something that I ever thought about. Now I'm reaching a higher level of improvement. I'm improving little minor things, improving tweaks, and even I'm still improving major things as well. I'm still improving major things. It's about improving myself. This journey is about improving myself. I'm not going to do something perfectly, because if I do something perfectly, there's nothing to improve. And doing something perfectly never comes that easy. Usually doing something perfectly comes from strategizing and comes from mistakes in the past. Nobody comes in and does something perfectly from the beginning, unless they were taught it, or unless they gave it to themselves before, or unless something happened there that they actually have. Not something happened there. Shut the fuck up. Focus. Unless something happened there in terms of like an experience that they've had, or something that there must have been an experience in the past that they've had, whether they saw in a movie or whether they actually learned it from a previous experience. Nothing happens without mistakes. Nobody actually does zero mistakes and then they just get everything right. Just remember that. Nobody doesn't do that. Like, I don't know. I need to focus. Everything is perfect because of past experiences that weren't perfect. Period. All right? Everything is from past experiences. So don't be afraid of making mistakes, because that's the way I'm going to learn for the future. Just don't be overly mad at myself whenever I make a mistake. That way I'd be scared of making a mistake, and that way I wouldn't learn. That's going to hinder my learning. So don't do anything that hinders my learning, whether it is anything. Just don't be like, oh, I should have done that, and keep thinking about it, because that actually hinders my fucking learning. That hinders it, all right? Just stand up straight. Don't do anything that hinders my learning. Do something that helps and aids with my learning. That's what I have to do. So in the future, don't be overly mad at myself. Now, why is that? So that way I can improve. That way I can find ways to improve. If I don't do anything, and if I get too mad at myself at my mistakes, I will not be able to improve. So tip, this is so important. Do not get overly mad at myself. Do not get overly mad at myself. That's going to be the last time I ever get that mad at myself. But it's not going to be the last time. I'm going to strategize for the future so I can do even better next time, all right? So that is so important. Don't get that mad at myself. There is no point, okay? That to the side. Now, the next step. Don't answer questions or demand to do anything. Pretend I didn't hear it. Instead of saying I won't do it, just pretend I didn't hear it. Like somebody, Shems, did you do this? And be looking at my phone. And if they ask me, and just look around, be like, I don't know. And if somebody tells me, No, that wasn't good. Just delete that shit. Just delete that. Okay, so if somebody asks me a question, pretend as if I didn't hear it. And go on to the next question. Like, hey, they say again, hey Shems, did you do that? Like, did you do this? Like, ask another question or like be busy with somebody else. But like, I'm thinking about that for a second and just go like that. See, I just fixed up myself right now because I'm used. I have that niceness coming up and I'm being really nice and oh what would you say? No, just be like this. Be like this. Shems, did you do your homework? Let's say an example. And they tap me again. Did you do your homework? Hey, Melissa, did you do this? What was it? Hey, Melissa, did you do what I told you? And stuff like that. Or just be like this. I have a phone call real quick. And just go. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's what I gotta do. And if somebody tells me, especially, this has to go especially for when people tell me what to do. This just kind of pisses me off. And telling people, don't tell me what to do. That looks like a fucking follower. I don't want to look like you're telling me what to do. Just that looked horrible today, all right? So if I don't want to do something, let's say, don't say I don't want to do it or like I'm gonna do it when I get done. Don't say any of that. There's no reason to say any of that. What I need to say instead is what I gotta say instead. Hey, put this back to the kitchen. What was this? And I like, hey, put this back to the kitchen. Look at them. If I happen to look at them, and then just look away. What was happening with this? And just continue on going as if I didn't hear it. All right. That happened to me twice, and I just right now realized that I need to behave that way instead. All right. This is how I gotta behave. Just pretend I didn't hear it. Just don't react. And also something else is don't be too alert. Like let's say somebody calls me, let them call me twice or even like 3 times. Just be like this. Shems, or like Sandra. Yeah, so this is exactly what I was saying. And look. And if they're not paying attention, just look back. I swear to God, just like that. Just talk and finish talking and then look back. Yeah. Look back slow. And if somebody like is showing me like this, the one guy was showing me something, just be like this. Finish it is what I'm writing and just be like this. Slow. Slow it down, especially when I'm reacting to someone. Walk slower, get up slower, and stuff like that. And take pauses before I answer. That's another thing. Take my time when talking. That's also really, really important. Just take my time. Something else. Let me see the next step. Don't participate if I don't need or if I don't have a question, and don't participate when I want to practice my confidence. This is not the time to practice my confidence. I've done it in the past. Right now, basically no one can forget how to swim. No one can forget how to swim at all. Now why? Because it's a skill that you get. It's a skill that you absorb. It's not gonna go away, all right? It's not gonna all of a sudden go away. Okay, this is up. It's not gonna go away all of a sudden, all right? So just remember, this does not go away, and it's not the time to practice my confidence. If I absolutely have a question and it's so necessary because I need to ask that question, then ask the question. But don't ask it and because I want to practice my confidence. Because I already am confident. I already am very, very confident. I've already practiced all that in different classes. I've already done that. So what's the point of continuing on doing that? So in really important classes, it's not the time to practice my confidence. It just isn't the time. So what I have to do instead is basically ask a question when I know what the fuck is going on, and also when I absolutely need to ask that question, otherwise I'm gonna be confused. So ask a question when I actually have the fucking question. Don't ask a question when I actually don't have a question. Just act confident, and confident people don't practice their confidence. They know they're confident and they have belief in their ability. So that's another thing that I have to get, is that I have to have a belief in my abilities. I have to believe in my abilities. So for example, I would want to prove something to myself when I actually participate in the class and I'm like nervous and I don't really have a question. I'm trying to prove something to myself. Being nervous has nothing to do with being confident, all right? That feeling will always be there. Just remember that this feeling is there to make me do better, to make me perform better. So don't let it sabotage me, because it is there to help me. It's not there to sabotage my performance. It isn't there for that reason. So just remember that. And also remember something is that I already know how to behave really confidently. So there is no point in me just participating just to look confident. Participate to ask a question. Participate because I cannot move on without asking that question. Don't be afraid of asking a question in front of the class. Honestly, I'm not saying stop asking questions in front of the class. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all, as a matter of fact. I am saying that only ask when I have a question, not to practice my confidence. Ask questions in front of the class. They actually tend to do a lot better than asking questions one on one. It really is. That's personal experience. Don't ask questions one on one either. But in the class, like if there's something that I don't understand and I actually absolutely need to ask that question, then raise my hand and ask the question. But other than that, don't do that, because that's just a waste of time, and it just puts me and shows my level when I'm like not paying attention. I ask a question. No, ask a question when I actually don't understand. When I actually need help with that particular topic, I actually ask a question. And yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. But ask a question when I have a question. Don't ask a question because listen to this. I'm already confident. Who am I trying to show how confident I am? In front of people that I won't see in like 2 weeks? Those people are not important. People are so not important. Just remember that. People are so not important. They're about to disappear in literally no time. They're small headed people. I'm not even going to see them again. So, what's the point of being afraid of them? That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that for the teacher, focus on the teacher. Focus on the teacher. I need to get a good grade. So, what I do, I ask a question when I have a question. And also, I ask a question when I can't move on without having that question answered, all right? So that is very, very important, all right? So moving on to the next point, have confidence in my abilities. Have pretty much confidence in my abilities. Like I've been public speaking, I've done in the past. Not like I don't have blind confidence over my abilities. I don't have blind confidence over my confidence. No, I've done tons of speeches. I've taken so many acting classes. I've said speeches in front of so many people. So right now, I'm basically really experienced in stuff like that. So just don't be afraid of participating because I might not be. No, I'm very confident, and in front of tons of crowds I will be able to act that same confidence, because those people are just a picture in my eyes. Those people are nothing but a picture in my eyes, just the same as me talking in front of this. Should I be nervous of that thing right here? No, but even if I did feel nervous, which is normal, it's normal. It's just a feeling of wanting to do well. That is why I feel like a little bit nervous, because I'm trying to do well. So don't let that feeling sabotage me, but let it help me do better. Just remember, this shit is trying to make me feel better. This shit is trying to make me do better. So don't be like, oh, go away. No, it's there to help me. So welcome it and take a breath in and just do whatever it is that I do, because I know how to cover. And I also don't care about people. Like, don't give a fuck about people, all right? And just remember, little things, they can't see any of that, all right? So force use my hands, something else, and use them to the way that they correlate with whatever the fuck that I'm saying, all right? And yeah, don't try to prove anything. Don't waste my time ever on that. Don't try and prove anything. For example, you were doing this. No, I was doing so. Never do that. Just never say no. I was doing like bro, and in that tone. No, delete that tone. Just delete it. Like no, I just don't be like. You get it. You get it. You don't get it. Just don't get it. I'm not gonna sit here and explain shit to you. All right, just be that. Like I'm teaching myself to be an alpha male, like an alpha masculine female, a person who is high in the power authority status. That's what I'm teaching myself to be. Somebody so high in the authority status. I'm not teaching myself to be like a person that's like down here and an employee. No, I'm teaching myself how to be a leader, an alpha, a person who knows what the fuck they're saying, a person who's heavy. Be heavy. What I mean by heavy is move slower. Be very like that. You know what I'm talking about? And something else. is don't be like, no, just delete that, and at least notice it when it happens. At least just notice it when it happens. All right. And something else is to act smart and add Turkish men confidence and add egghead. Also, add Turkish men eye behavior. They have the best eye behavior. So Turkish actors have the best eye behavior. So try and get that off of them. The way they look down and up, the way they use their hands and stuff like that. The way they look around and stuff like that. So put that in. And strength. What is that? Delete the kindness in my personality and also on my face. Strength, add sneaky face on. So I don't have that face, just add it in. I feel like it looks good, like that, add a sneaky face. And also something else is that act like a player, like a bully. Act like a player. So act like a person that's like act like a player. So I don't know what that entails exactly, but just have it in mind that I want to act like a player. It's so important to be able to have that player look, because it just looks good on me. It just simply looks good on me, all right? And act careless of people. Don't act careless of my important shit, like my school and stuff like that. Oh, and something else is that before an exam, get out of that me wanting to, be like jittery. Oh, the exam, jittery. Just get that shit out. That shit needs to go away, because that shit is for little kids. Honestly, that shit is for little kids. It's so important to get out of that and to be able to be a little bit more calm. So be calm. Like before an exam, just be a little bit more calm. Don't be like, oh, you know what I mean? Just be a little bit more calm, because that needs to be added in. Like I feel like lately I've been like really what's it called? I've been really like jittery and stuff like that. I've been like that in the past, but it's time to move out of that. All right, it's time to move out of that, because that just simply it just doesn't look good. All right, just don't do it. Something else is that set my priorities and believe in myself and know myself. That way I don't need anybody else to define me. I don't need anybody else to respect me for me to actually respect myself. Be able to respect myself and be able to have confidence in myself and be able to have confidence in my abilities. That is how I wouldn't care about anybody else's comment. Also, don't put people in my priority list. So basically everything that happens outside, make it a learning experience. Don't sit down and be mad at myself. Oh, that person's gonna think this. They don't think. I'm the only real existence. When I go to California, or even if I go right now to Russia, those people just simply won't exist anymore. Those people won't be there anymore. So why the fuck would I just sit down and and be thinking about them as if there's something important? They're not. Just remember, they're not important. And so that is where I have to have my brain and my state of mind at. It's so important to have a state of mind that actually is reflective of you. It's really important. So so use my hands. Use one hand down here. I don't know why it keeps coming up here, but use it up here and down here, and sometimes use two hands and then back to one. But it looks good like that. All right. Right now I'm in a state of mind. I wanna be like all the time.